Welcome to this month's Exercise of the Month. This month is April, and we're looking at the On Your Feet Britain campaign. This is a campaign that's throughout the country, and it's looking at how we can be a little bit more active at work, how we can walk a bit more. I've got a few little interesting stats about walking, and I've got a few exercises or stretches. Some of them are similar ones, they're ones we've shown you before, that will look at ways you can reduce discomfort, particularly in the low back with walking. So first things first, if you want to look at work, look at how you're working, what you're working in. If you're in an office, that's normally the most difficult, it's one of the most difficult places to get more walking into your day. A couple of bits of advice I tend to use: if you use a very small cup or a very small glass on your desk, make sure it's always got water on it. Then when you fill it up, try and go a little bit further, perhaps a sink in a different floor or a different place in the office. You'll find the steps quite quickly add up. It doesn't seem like much, just doing a little extra bit further to the kitchen or to a different tap, but if you do 160 more steps a day, you'll be doing about 1,100 steps more a week. That doesn't sound much, and it sounds like some very odd numbers. Why have I pulled those out? Because if you do 160 more steps a day, 1,100 more steps a week, it's not very much. That will result in you walking a marathon every year. So that's on top of what you're already walking. So you're walking an extra marathon distance, which really, if you think about little changes like that, are really easy to fit in. 160 steps is not very much. You could fit that in walking over a very, very short amount of time. On top of that, there's also a campaign by the government. Some of you may remember the adverts from sometime last year. We had 10 minutes of brisk walking. Now that's looking at a concept called the active 10s, and that's where you try and fit 10 minutes of increased activity into your day-to-day routines. The brisk walking one was the easiest one to fit into lots of day-to-day routines, and there is an app you can download. If you just put in active 10 or 10 minutes brisk walking, 10 minutes daily, lots of these things. There's an NHS-funded website looking at ways of getting people moving. Benefits-wise, you're looking at reduction in the risk of type 2 diabetes. You're looking at an increase in the bone density in old age. You're looking at increases in fitness in the cardiovascular system, so your heart and lungs will be healthier. And you're looking at decreases in blood pressure and things like that. It's really, really good for you in a lot of ways. And a lot of these benefits add together. So the decreased risk of type 2 diabetes really links in with the blood pressure to keep your heart very, very much more healthy in old age. The bone density keeps you active and out of pain, which helps keep you more active. So the more active you are in old age, the more active you're able to be. So it's a really nice virtuous circle instead of the vicious circle that most of us know about. So a few little things that can stop people walking. Normally we see pain in the knees, pain in the ankles, or pain in the hips. These can be boiled down to a few simple little stretches to see if you can improve them. The ankles will start at the bottom. Normally, to have a normal stride, you need to be able to step over your foot, keeping your foot on the floor. So we're looking at my back leg, we're stepping over the foot, which requires both the hip to be behind me, the knee to move backwards, and the ankle to then flex. So it drops into that movement. If you have stiff ankles, you have to finish that stride early and the heel comes off earlier. As you do that, you put more stress on the knee, you don't work the hip muscles, and you put a lot more stress on the low back. So stretching out your ankles is a very, very good place to start. And this position is one of the easiest ones to do. You can pop your hands against a wall and push against a wall to really get more stretch, or you can use the exercise we did last month, dropping off of the stair. Last month or February, earlier on in the year, we looked at how to stretch the ankles using the stairs. So look that up. It's all very readily available. The second area we're talking about is the knee. Two things can cause knee pain while walking most commonly. One is the ankle flexibility, as mentioned before, because it causes the knee to bend earlier in the stride. So you walk with much shorter stride just by bending the knee. So as you're walking through, if you don't have the ankle flexibility, you tend to bend the knee earlier. That means you will end up with stiff hips as well. The second reason is just lack of strength. If you don't have strength in the muscles around the leg, then you will struggle with walking to start with. There's a few easy remedies to this. One, walk yourself up and down the stairs a couple of times. If you live in a bungalow, find some stairs, walk up and down them a few times. It won't take long, it won't take more than probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at most before you really start reaping the rewards and being able to walk further or steeper hills, and actually the control going back down again makes a big difference as well. And the third point, we're talking about the hips. So we're talking about the flexibility and the extension, so your ability to move the leg behind you without arching your back. We've talked about that a great deal in past exercise of the month videos. The best tool I can give for that is a basic lunge, which is where you're sitting in this position, you're using your abdominal muscles to lift that belt buckle, tuck through here, and you should feel a decent stretch through the front of the hip. As you get more flexible, you're able to hold bigger angles at the hip without extending through the spine. That's absolutely crucial for walking. And low back pain, particularly on slow walking, is often caused by this hip inflexibility. Aside from that, there's simple stretches like holding onto your foot close to your bum and pulling that belt buckle up again will allow you to stretch all of these muscles down the front of the thigh. That should increase your stride length, it should make it easier for you to walk faster, and it should help keep you from getting any issues with the ankle, knee or hip while walking. If you do get any issues, please do get in touch with someone in the clinic. We will assess and we can find out if there's any other reasons or anything else. This is obviously just a very short video. It's not the be-all and end-all of problems while walking. Please do get in touch if there's anything we can help you with. Thank you very much. Done.